Wipro this year has assigned 20 minutes for an English essay writing examination, that is the round in the various other rounds of the written test. So how to write an essay in just 20 minutes? I am G Vivek and I host this channel. I have written GRE and IELTS, and from my experiences I can explain you how to write an essay in this video, because in our GRE examination also the first passage we are going to write it in the 20 minutes, and even in the IELTS examination the time constraint is going to be similar. So I have a complete experience on how to write an essay in such a short period of time, that is just 20 minutes. So in this video I am going to explain how to use that short time in writing your video, in implementing how to write a successful essay writing, and how it is going to be completely agreeable for everybody who corrects that. So why delay, let's dive right into the video. Coming on to essay writing, every student should note that there are three different elements in an essay, and if they write an essay in these three different elements, it is going to be a successful essay, 100% sure. The first one is going to be introduction, and the main catchy phrases which are going to be added. That is the first part of the essay. Second one is going to be body. Third one is going to be conclusion. How much words or how many lines should you write the first introduction, and what to write, how to write, I'll explain you now. Firstly, they would have given some topic in the question, and you would have understood the topic by reading the question, and you need to write whatever question is there, you need to paraphrase that, and you need to write it in the introduction. How you need to write that? First, start the first sentence of the introduction with a introduction sentence or a catchy phrase. Whatever quotations or whatever inspiring words you know, and whatever catches the face of a reader, try to write that. Take time to think this sentence. This is a very important sentence. The first sentence is going to be the catchy phrase, and the second and third sentences are going to be the paraphrased terms whatever are given in the question. So now in the introduction first paragraph, you are going to write three sentences. That is going to be from whatever they are given in the question, paraphrased, and also a catchy phrase that is added in the first line. So that's the end of the introduction, and successfully we have started the introduction, and we go into the body part. So body part basically depends on student to student and also question. If they ask you to explain two or more parameters or two or more points, if they give you specifically, you can write two paragraphs. First point you can explain the first paragraph, second point you can explain the second paragraph. It depends on the question. If they ask you to explain pros and cons or pluses or minus or positives and negatives, it depends on questions, right? If they ask you in that manner, you remember the fact that you need to write positives in one paragraph, negatives in one paragraph, and in conclusion, if they give something like contrary statements, in conclusion you need to relate both the positives and negatives and write on whatever you are concluding in the conclusion, that should be written for every paragraph. So this is how a body should be written. Do remember that you need to write down in a paper what are the points you need to write in both the body paragraphs. So it doesn't flow. The flow is not maintained if you just go on directly. Do remember to write them in a paper and then execute it. So, or you can just imagine what are the points you are going to write and then start writing the essay of first to second and third paragraph, that is two body paragraphs. That is how you need to write the body paragraphs. Now you have completely written the body paragraphs of two paragraphs, and you already have content. Now the author would be unclear, or the reader would be unclear that are you concluding or are you towards the positive sides, are you towards the negative sides. So what you can do, you should take one side, and by explaining completely whatever you have written, you would have had more points in the positives or you would have more points in the negatives. If you think for more time, you would get some points, right? And coming on to those will be written in second and third paragraphs. So in the conclusion, you can write the points. If you have mentioned more points in positives and if you have mentioned less points in negatives, you can take the side of positives, and you can mention in the conclusion, I have taken side of the positives, x, y, z, etc. depending on the question, and you can conclude accordingly. You should also mention for any question why you are taking positive side, why you are taking negative side, and what are the points you have mentioned above in a conclusive manner in the last paragraph. So this is how the conclusion should be ended. So let's recap whatever I have mentioned above. First paragraph, introduction paragraph. What should be there in the introduction paragraph? One catchy phrase followed by paraphrasing of the question they have given. What is paraphrasing? Same question in different words. That is, if they give A to Z, you should write Z to A. That is, object and predicate you need to reverse and you just need to write, so that will be act as an introductory to your paragraph of the essay. So following that, you should write 2 body paragraphs. If they give positive negatives, you should write positives 1 paragraph, negative second paragraph. If they ask you to write 2 or more points, you should write 1 point, some points in first paragraph and negative points in other paragraph. And last one is going to be conclusion. That is going to be 4th paragraph. And there you should analyze all the first paragraph, second paragraph and third paragraph, whatever you have written, and you should write conclusively which stand you are taking and what is the side you are going to be. If they ask you positives or negatives, or if they ask you if you agree or disagree, you need to mention all those in the conclusion section. I'll clarify you one more doubt before ending up this video. If you want to write more or if you want to write less, it completely depends on the writer, or it completely depends on the time you have. So I recommend writing 2 body paragraphs and 1 introduction paragraph and 1 conclusion paragraph. It would be 4 different paragraphs, and each paragraph would be about 3 to 4 lines depending on the speed you type. So if you are slow in typing or if you are slow in thinking, just try to write 1 paragraph first, practice with any example, and later you can try on to write 2 paragraphs. It is just takes 2 or 3 essays, and later you will be strong enough. And this is how you need to write an essay. Hope you are clear with whatever I have explained. In the description below, I have also explained how you need to write it in a conclusive manner, so that you can just read and understand if you haven't understood properly in this video. Thank you so much for staying out so long. This is Vivek signing off. Stay safe, stay informative. Bye bye.